morning students. In this video we are going to cover doubly reinforced sections. In the previous video, if you refer, we had covered singly reinforced section. In that we used to calculate the moment resisting capacity of the section. For example, if the applied moment or what moment we are getting, if it is greater than the moment resisting capacity of the section, then what has to be done? So what we can do is that we have three alternatives. One is that we can increase the dimensions of the section. So for example, if you take one beam, we will have width of the section and we will have the depth of the section. So preferably what we do, we are going to increase the depth of the section. So we are going to revise the section and we are going to check it out whether it can carry the moment or not. So for if it is more, so what we can do is that one alternative is that we can go for higher grade of concrete to increase the moment resisting capacity of the section. This is one of the alternative. But another thing is that, for example, I said that we can increase the depth of the section. So in some criteria, the depth of the section will also be restricted. If you want to have clear height, that time what they do, they are going to restrict the depth. They may say that you cannot increase depth beyond this, or for architectural aesthetic looks also, so depth will be restricted. So that time how to increase the moment resisting capacity of the section? So what we do is that we are going to provide additional reinforcement in the compression zone. So if you take the beam, if this is the beam we have, so in the previous videos, if you see in the singly reinforced, we used to provide the reinforcement at the bottom. So what we do is that to increase the moment resisting capacity of the section, we are going to provide additional reinforcement at the top. So due to this, what happens is moment resisting capacity of the section, it is going to increase. So this type of section is known as doubly reinforced section. Doubly reinforced section. So when you go for doubly reinforced section, when the applied moment is greater than the moment resisting capacity of a singly reinforced section. So that time what we do, we can go for doubly reinforced section. Either you can revise or you can increase the depth of the section. Next is how it is going to work out. So what we do is that, for example, if you take this is a doubly reinforced beam which is of width B and effective depth D. So here you can see at the bottom also reinforcement is provided, at the top also reinforcement is being provided. So how it is going to work out, or this will be equivalent to the width B and D will remain same. So AST1 is nothing but the limiting moment for a reinforced beam. So the singly reinforced beam what we have designed, so what moment it can carry, so that beam I had shown it here, so which is having area of AST1. So for a balanced section, how much area of steel is required, that we are going to provide. Then next, additionally what we do, what previously we have done, this is the beam what we have done. So moment MU1 is nothing but the moment carrying limiting moment for a singly reinforced beam. But then also if the extra moment we are going to have, that is MU2, which is the remaining moment MU2. So for this we have to provide the additional reinforcement. For this we have to provide the additional reinforcement. So therefore what we do, additional reinforcement at the bottom also we are going to provide. So that we can call it as AST2. Then next is at the top, we are going to provide the compressive reinforcement, that is ASC. So for tensile SC. So for tensile we are going to call it as AST, area of steel for tension, and ASC, that is nothing but area of steel for compression. So we are going to add, if we are going to add up this and this, so we are going to get a doubly reinforced beam. We are going to get a doubly reinforced beam. So therefore, how do we calculate now? MU, total moment, it will be equal to the limiting moment. This limiting moment already what we have done for singly reinforced beam, same thing, that is the limiting moment for a singly reinforced beam, plus additional moment MU2 what we have, so that will be resisted by this additional reinforcement. that is extra reinforcement AST2 plus additional reinforcement we are going to provide, that is ASC. So due to provision of this, what happens is that moment carrying capacity of this section increases, so therefore it can take that remaining load by moment of a singly reinforced section, that is limiting moment, plus the additional moment which is being given by this AST2 as well as ASC. Then next is, let us see now how to calculate this area of steel in compression. Then next is additional reinforcement AST1. So how do you calculate? Right. So let us take one beam of width B and effective depth D. Effective depth D, small d. Then next is XU is nothing. XU max is nothing but the maximum depth of the neutral axis from extreme top compression fiber. So above the neutral axis we will have compression zone, below the neutral axis we will have tension zone. Then next is as we have provided here reinforcement, at top also two additional bars we have provided, that is nothing but ASC, that is nothing but area of compression reinforcement. We have this distance from extreme top compression fiber to the center of this compression reinforcement. So that we are going to denote it as D dash. Extreme distance from extreme top compression fiber to the center of this compression reinforcement. So that is nothing but D dash. Then next, if this is total depth D, so the remaining this top depth is D dash. The next distance from the center of this compression reinforcement to the distance to the center of tensile reinforcement. So this distance will be D minus of D dash. This total is D minus D dash. If you subtract, remaining will be the distance. Then next is AST2 is nothing but area of additional tensile reinforcement. At bottom, just now I showed, in the bottom we are going to provide extra reinforcement, that is AST2. At top we provide reinforcement, that is ASC. This is the strain diagram which is showing the strain profile at in the compression zone as well as in the tension zone. So as we have additionally provided this reinforcement, so the strain at that level, it is being, if you calculate, it is being given by 0.0035 into 1 minus of D dash divided by XU max. And this is the stress diagram. So now our aim is to calculate, means how do we calculate ASC and AST2? How do we calculate these values? That we'll try to see. So FSC is nothing but the stress in the compression reinforcement. FCC is nothing but the compressive stress in the concrete. So what happens is that this value is very much lesser, so therefore we can neglect this value. So what we do now, as we have provided additional tensile reinforcement, so what is the tension force due to that tensile reinforcement? So how do you calculate? Force, that is nothing but area into the stress, area into the stress. So area of steel, we are going to take it as AST2 multiplied by the yield stress, that is F.87 F of I. Fi is nothing but yield stress. So we are applying factor of safety, that is divided by 1.15 as it is steel. So therefore you will get 0.87 F of Y. This is nothing but due to the additional tensile reinforcement. Then next, due to this additional compressive reinforcement, again same thing, stress multiplied by area. So area of that steel provided at the top is ASC. ASC multiplied by the stress, that is FSC minus of FCC. So concrete, it can also have stress, compressive stress, FCC. So as this is very much lesser, so we can neglect this value. We can neglect this value, so therefore only this much you can have, ASC into FSC. Then next is lever arm. Lever arm is nothing but distance from this top, what you can say, compression reinforcement to the center of the tensile reinforcement. This distance. So that is nothing but D minus of D dash. Whether you take compressive lever arm for additional compressive force or tensile force, distance will be D minus of D dash. Then next is we'll try to calculate what is the moment. How to calculate? For example, due to this compressive force, if you want to calculate moment about this, what you do? Force into multiplied by distance, that is nothing but lever arm. So what is the compressive force due to this? Or first we'll try to calculate this due to this tensile reinforcement. So force is nothing but 0.87 F of I to AST2. This is nothing but the force into distance or lever arm. So lever arm will be d minus of d dash. Already same thing based on same concept already we have done in the singly reinforced beam. Same thing we are applying, but it is like extra. Why? Because we have provided additional reinforcement. Therefore we are due to that moment resisting capacity of the section is increased. So therefore additional how much moment it can carry due to this tensile reinforcement, that we are calculating. Same concept what we have done in the earlier singly reinforced beam. Similarly, Mu2 based on this, what you can say, compression reinforcement. Again same thing, force into distance, lever arm. Force is nothing but ASC into FSC, previously we have seen, into distance, that is nothing but lever arm, d minus of d dash. This is due to additional tensile reinforcement, this is due to additional compression reinforcement. If you are going to compute both the things, if you are going to equate, so you will have equal to ASC into FSC. So what you can do, if you want to calculate this AST value, you cross multiply here. So you will get value as AST2, that is equal to ASC into FSC divided by 0.87 F of Y. So if you want to calculate the area of steel in the tensile reinforcement, additional steel 2. So based on this formula you can calculate, that is ASC into FSC divided by 0.87 F of Y. For example, now here in this, if you want to calculate ASC, how to calculate ASC now? So ASC, what you can do is that you can calculate Mu2, you can cross multiply this. So ASC will be equal to Mu2 divided by FSC into d minus of d dash. If you do, you will get value of ASC. If you want to calculate this ASC also, you require FSC now, right? So that we will tell you further how to calculate. So therefore now total reinforcement provided in this section. So therefore now total reinforcement provided in this section will be equal to, that has to be seen. So at the bottom what happens is that we have limiting area of steel that we have provided, that is for singly reinforcement beam what we have provided. So same thing we have provided, plus additional reinforcement we have provided, this additional reinforcement AST2. So therefore total tensile reinforcement AST will be equal to AST LIM, that is for a singly reinforced balanced section, plus additional steel at the bottom we have provided, that is AST2. This will be the total tensile reinforcement which is provided at the bottom. Then next is moment resisting capacity of the section. How to calculate the moment resisting capacity of the section now? So this is nothing but, if you take based on this compressive forces, so 0.36 FCK B into XU into D seen in the, what you can say, singly reinforced beam. So this is nothing but for a singly reinforced beam. Plus what happens is that additionally we have provided the reinforcement at top. So due to that how much it is being increased, so that has to be calculated. So how to calculate? Just now we have calculated ASC into FSC into D minus of D dash. This is due to singly reinforced balanced section, plus this is due to the additional compressive reinforcement. So this much moment is, carrying capacity of our section is increased. So by using this equation what you can do, you can calculate the moment resisting capacity of the section. This already it is being given in the code book. Then next is if you want to calculate the moment resisting capacity of the section, you require value of XU now. That is nothing but the depth of the neutral axis. How do you calculate depth of the neutral axis? What we can do, we can equate total compression is equal to total tension. If this section has to remain in equilibrium, what we can do, we can equate total compression, that has to be equal to total tension. Then only our section will be under equilibrium. So total compression is nothing but what? This we have, that is not this. So 0.36 FCK into B into XU we have. Then next is plus this is nothing but force, this is nothing but distance. This is nothing but force, this is nothing but distance. So only we are talking about force now, compressive force. So therefore this value we have 0.36 FCK into B into XU plus due to additional reinforcement force will be ASC into FSC. This is nothing but total compressive force we have. Then next is total tensile force. So total tensile force due to this total tensile steel will be equal to 0.87 F of Y into AST. That is nothing but area of steel multiplied by stress. So here we have taken AST. AST is nothing but total. AST is nothing but total tensile reinforcement. Total tensile reinforcement multiplied by the stress. So if you are going to equate this, based on this, what you can do, you can calculate this value of XU. So you can substitute here in this equation, you can calculate the moment resisting capacity of the section. Then next, if you observe here in this equation, we have additional term, that is FSC, stresses in the compressive steel, what we have. So how to calculate that? So for that we have one table, you can refer this table. So what we do is that based on this value we will try to calculate. So what we do is that this is the strain, what you can say, in the compressive reinforcement stress FSC. So strain at this level, it is being given by 0.0035 into 1 minus of d dash by XU max. So what we do is that we will try to calculate what is the d dash by d value. D dash by d value we will substitute here, and XU max by d value also we know. So what happens is that XU max value already we know for a given section. For example, I will write here, that is d dash we have. XU max value, for example, if you take for any section, like for FE415 if you take, it is 0.48 of D. 0.48 D we have. 0.48 D we have. So d dash by d value will calculate, and this will calculate. So this is going to go. So therefore we will have what you can say, this d dash by d value divided by XU max. So based on that, what you can say, we are going to get, if you simplify, you will get this what you can say values which is being shown in the tabular column. So what you can do, we have to calculate d dash by d value. This is d dash, this is d value, and for a different grade of steel. So if it is 0.005, this will be the value. If it is 0.1, this will be the value. So based on this, what we do, we are going to get the value of FSC. So FSC value, we are going to get it from this table. That is, we have to calculate d dash by d value. We will be knowing the steel value. So based on this, we are going to get this value. Then next is what all different types of problems we are going to get. So that we will try to cover it in the next section. We will try to solve few problems and we are going to see.